In today's lab, we are going to be making our own toothpaste. Does that sound fun?
Sounds so exciting.
Okay, great. Well, what I want to do is show you this toothpaste that I bought off of Amazon, and it's called David's toothpaste. So it says David's Premium Toothpaste. So it has special ingredients that maybe your normal toothpaste that you get at Walmart maybe don't have in it. So let's go ahead and look. If we turn it on the back, we can actually see the word ingredients, okay? And what do you know about ingredients when they're listed on a label?
The top one listed usually has more.
That's right. So the first ingredient listed is the most in it, or has the greater percentage of the whole substance. Okay? So can you read the first ingredient for me?
Calcium carbonate.
Calcium carbonate. Let's look at the third ingredient.
Purified water.
And one more.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate. Okay, so we just happen to have some of those ingredients here in front of us. Does this look familiar to you at all?
Yes, my dad eats it like candy when he has heartburn.
Okay, and so what does that say it is?
Antacid.
It's an antacid. And then right below it,
calcium carbonate.
Okay, so the main ingredient of this is that calcium carbonate. Now let's look at this. Pure baking soda. I'm sure you've seen this before in your mom's kitchen.
Yep, she loves it.
Can be used for many different purposes. And if we look again at the back, the only ingredient is
sodium bicarbonate.
Okay, so these are two of the main ingredients in our toothpaste, in David's toothpaste and in our toothpaste that we're going to do. Okay, now the baking soda, as you can see, is already in a powdered form. So no work needs to be done there. But these Tums, let's get about 4 of them out. Do these look like they're in powdered form?
No, they do not.
What form would you say they are in?
Chewable?
I think I would say, okay, are they solid, liquid, or gas?
Solid.
They are a solid. And I'm going to tell you, these are basically comprised of a powder. So you have the powder and you press it together. They press it together at the factory and form these little tablets. So we're going to take these and we're going to bust them up to recreate the powder.
Okay.
Because I don't think these are going to mix too well in a toothpaste.
Nope.
Okay, so let's go ahead and I have these two kind of, I don't know, there's pieces of very hard cardboard is what they are. And what we can do is we can sandwich the tablets in between and smash them up with a hammer. Does that sound like fun?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay. This could be a safety issue. Of anything that's involved in this experiment, this would be the safety issue. As to not hit your hand with the hammer. Okay? So why don't you go ahead and take those and sandwich them between those two pieces of cardboard. Alright. Yep. Now I'm going to hold these down for you. And you're going to try to hit it, but don't hit my fingers, okay? I know you're tempted.
So tempting.
I know you're tempted to. Can you do it like this, maybe? There we go. Just in the middle. Just in the middle. Don't hit it too hard because the camera will shake. Let's see what... Does it seem to be working?
I don't know.
No. Not at all. So that's not good. What if we take this end and just chisel at them? Does that seem to be working?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you finish it off for us? So that was kind of an example of a little bit of trial and error. If at first you don't succeed,
Make a happy tree.
try again. Okay, let me try to speed up the process a little bit here. Okay, we're getting a nice kind of powder here now. And I think we're gonna have enough for our experiment. So let's just leave that there for now. I want to talk a little bit before we go and assemble this. One of the things we want to talk about is I already pulled up some images of some magnifying images of the baking soda and the calcium carbonate, and I want to ask you a few questions. So if I pull up the baking soda, I'm going to show the camera real quick here because we have that image of the magnified baking soda. What does that look like to you?
Glass.
Okay, it could look like glass.
Crystals.
And crystals is probably even a better word. Now let me go ahead and pull up the blown up calcium carbonate. Hopefully the camera can see that. Over here. And if you look at that, what does that look like to you?
Bigger crystals.
Okay, so they still look like crystals and they look like much larger, absolutely. And what about the texture of the baking soda crystals compared to the calcium carbonate crystals? What do you think?
The calcium carbonate is much sharper.
I would say that too. It really looks like the baking soda crystals have a smoother kind of finish on them than these calcium carbonate, which are have extreme edges, sharp edges it looks like. So knowing what they look like on the magnified level, what do you suppose the purpose of the calcium carbonate could be in a toothpaste?
Just scrape off stuff on your teeth.
Correct. So we would call that a word that begins with an A. I'll start to sound it out and then you try to finish it.
Abrasive.
Abrasive. What is one other type of abrasive that you might find in your dad's garage?
Sandpaper.
That's a perfect example right there. Now, of course, we wouldn't want to use sandpaper on our teeth, would we?
No.
That would be horrible and it would really tear up your gums. So if we know that that is the purpose of the calcium carbonate in the toothpaste, which is to... You didn't get much sleep last night, huh? Okay. To basically wear away at the stains. And if you wore away at the stains, what might show underneath them? So you're wearing away like the yellow stains. What is going to show through then?
Clean teeth.
Clean white teeth. So that's like a whitener, basically. And so what could be the purpose of baking soda? Do you have any idea? It's okay if you don't.
I don't.
Okay, that's fine. We can look then at what we talked about in a previous lesson, which is the pH scale. Now, so we'll just show that to the rest of the class. The pH scale. And there's some items that are listed on the pH scale. First of all, the pH scale runs from 0 to 14. And on the left side, from 0 to 6, we have our acidic properties. And from 8 to 14, those are basically bases. And the 7 would be neutral, neither basic or acidic. Do you see baking soda listed anywhere on that chart?
Yes.
Okay, what number do you see it at?
8.
Correct. And what would that be, acidic or a basic?
Basic.
So it's a basic product. Now, one thing that, have you ever heard of the word plaque?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what plaque is?
It's built up food and bacteria particles.
Yeah. So it's definitely, it's like the waste product of the bacteria that becomes a sticky film that goes on your teeth. And if it's left on there, it's very acidic and will eat away at your teeth. That's why it's so important to brush them so you can get that plaque off. And one thing that the baking soda might do to the acidic, what might it do?
Neutralize it?
Neutralize it or cancel it out. Yeah, so it's going to remove the acid. So there we have 2 functions of the ingredients. So let's go ahead and we need to talk about one more thing before we do this, okay? Here we have a jar of Goober peanut butter and jelly stripes. Okay? Can you see the individual peanut butter and jelly stripes?
Yes.
Okay. So they are separated in this. Let's go ahead and open it up. If we take our fork and we pull out some peanut butter and jelly. So there we've got some peanut butter and jelly, which you can see clearly are 2 separate things on this fork, correct?
Yes.
If we take these and we put these on our plate, okay, now I want you to take this fork and really mix it up as best you can. Okay, looks like you did a great job mixing that up. Now looking at it, let's lift it up. Now looking at it, can you tell that they are 2 separate things or do they look like one thing?
It looks like one thing.
Correct. We would call that
Combined.
combined. Could also call that a word that begins with an M. Your mom might have a mixer in her kitchen.
Mixed.
Yes, mixed or a mixture would be the proper scientific term, a mixture. Now, that is what we are going to be doing with the toothpaste ingredients. They are going to come together as a mixture. So here we have a little dish, and we are going to put, first of all, here is a little measuring spoon. And can you say what amount is on there?
Half a teaspoon.
This is half a teaspoon, correct. We need a full half teaspoon of the calcium carbonate to go into this dish. Can you do that? Make sure it's nice and full. Looks like we have just enough. Okay, you can put that in there. Now we're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of the sodium bicarbonate. Now I don't have another measuring spoon, so how would we put that amount in that spoon?
Using half of a teaspoon, making it 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Very good. Can you do that? Can you kind of estimate a half? A half of a half? Creating a 1/4? Okay, looks good to me. Let's go ahead and add it in. Now what we need to do. Do you think this is too what?
Powdery?
Too powdery or too dry, right? So we're going to have to add some water to that. Now, we don't have to add much, I don't think. We're going to start just with maybe 1 or 2 drops of water. So here is our little dropper. And what you need to do is put this in the water and cap it with your finger and pull it back out. And that's going to create a vacuum that is going to hold that water in this eyedropper. And then when you bring it over, all you have to do is lift up your finger like that, and it's going to put a drop in. And just do that twice. Okay? There's 1, there's 2. Put another one because it looks kind of dry. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and add a little bit of red food coloring to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe a couple drops. Okay, good. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, now the last thing. How about a little bit of flavor?
Sounds good.
What we have here is some McCormick cake batter artificial flavor. How would you like some cake batter toothpaste?
Sounds good.
Okay, go ahead and put some in there. Why don't you just use this and just put a little bit of a dash in, because it's still looking dry and we may need a little bit with that. Okay, that's a great idea to use the cap so you don't put too much. Now this cake batter is not going to be detrimental to our toothpaste because this does not have any sugar in it. It is simply a flavoring. Okay, we are going to take this tool now and try to mix it up. You go ahead and do that. We'll see if it's going to come together. And you tell me how you think it's looking. Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just use this? Okay, what do you think? Do you think we need some more water?
Yes.
I think so too. So what we're going to do, we're just going to get this little cap and we're going to put some water in it. A couple more drops. Keep mixing it up. Now it is looking like it's becoming a paste. This is exactly what we want because what do they call it?
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste. They call it that for a reason. How does it smell?
It smells like cake batter and minty.
Okay. So where do you think the mint is coming from? The mint smell.
Antacid.
Yeah, it looks like it is mint flavored. And that's okay because a lot of toothpastes are minty. All right, it looks like we've got a great paste there. Now comes the final part, and that is to taste it. So go ahead and taste it. We just want to see if it would be something that could be brought to market as a product. No. Okay. Well, she doesn't like the taste of it. And that is okay because this is how companies do things. They experiment. They don't come up with the right product right off the bat. Sometimes they have to try 100 times. Well, now what we need to do is report our findings. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper and I'm going to kind of prompt you what to write, okay? And I would like you to kind of say it verbally as you're writing, okay?
Okay.
So What do you think about the color? Do you think it was a color that looks like something that could be marketable?
No.
No?
Looks like blood.
You don't think kids would like it?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Now what about the taste? How would you describe the taste?
Tastes like baking soda.
Tastes like baking soda, so that's probably not a great... Maybe we needed some more what?
Cake batter?
Some more flavoring? Yeah, probably so. And maybe next time we'll just add some more. Now, here's a question for you. Do you think, if you made a whole batch of this, do you think, first of all, do you remember what this is called that begins with an M?
Mixture?
Yes. Do you think this mixture is going to stay mixed, or do you think it might separate out?
It's gonna dry out.
You think it's going to dry out? Okay, very interesting. Well, there happens to be other ingredients in these toothpastes to probably help with that. And one of the things is that word right there, which is glycerin. And that, you know, there's oils in this, and that's stuff that we didn't have that maybe could help. And this is a very interesting one. The very last ingredient. Can you say that one?
Stevia.
Stevia. Do you know what stevia is?
Sugar.
It is a natural leaf that is sweet, but it has no calories. So it is something that you could put in a toothpaste that is not going to adversely affect your teeth. So back to real quick, just to make sure we have everything wrapped up. Kind of the science behind it is different materials can come together, be mixed together, and stay that way through a certain type of bond. Okay? There's two different types. One's a chemical bond and one is a physical bond. Now this, just so you know, is a physical bond. That is why you could actually separate these ingredients back out. And with a chemical bond, you can't do that.